Hi, my name is Jen Berkman, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Medical Specialists of the Palm Beaches. Today, we have with us board-certified cardiologist, Dr. Joshua Gottsegen. How are you today?
I am well.
That's
I'm
awesome.
doing great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, if you could be anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Well, I am a big music fan. And one of my favorite musicians is Herbie Hancock, the old Herbie Hancock, the jazz pianist Herbie Hancock. And I'd like to be him for a day because I would like to be able to play at the level he does with the guys that he does, where he plays. He blows me away. So
wow,
I would say Herbie.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. I love music too. My husband loves to listen to jazz as well. So I can understand that. So our next question is, why did you decide to become a physician?
So I always was interested in science, especially biology, and I was always fascinated with the way the human body worked. And even as a kid, I would read about stuff like that all the time. And when I initially went to college, I was scheduled, or not scheduled, but I was intending to go to law school. And late in my college career, I went to Northwestern Medical School to visit a friend of mine who was a medical student there. And after a weekend with him, that was it. I was done. I was hooked, and I shifted everything over to trying to, doing pre-med and going into medical school and doing all that stuff because it was always in the back of my mind. But I grew up in a family that was involved with healthcare, so I always saw a lot of that. But once I saw it, there was something about my visit with him that made it seem to me more approachable, and that's when the switch flipped. And I went forward with it.
That is incredible. That's quite the story.
Yeah.
I think one of the other physicians also had a story kind of like that. They were headed into electrical engineering, and then they hung out with one of their friends, and all of a sudden they're like, I found my calling. I'm supposed to be a doctor.
That's pretty much the way it happened.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So what's one thing you wish people knew about cardiology?
So one thing I think people don't get or don't understand about cardiology is that it's a team. It's a team effort the same way you have a building team. So you have an architect and an engineer and an electrician and a plumber and a builder, and cardiology is sort of made up of a bunch of different subspecialties within cardiology. You have cardiac surgery, which is actually separate from cardiology. And then within cardiology, you have interventional cardiology and electrophysiology and clinical cardiology and advanced heart failure. So not every cardiologist does the same thing. And when you have a complex problem, you're going to be sort of touched by a little bit of all of those fields. So I think people get taken aback by that when they come in for an initial evaluation and then they see that they have to then go on to see a different cardiologist in a different field. It's very complicated, and no one person can do it all. So I think that that's something that a lot of people don't know until they get in the system.
This is so true. It's a big team effort to diagnose a patient, basically.
Correct. The heart team at JFK is one of the things that is really cool because it is a team of people that get together to discuss the more complicated patients, and you have somebody from every section, and that's one of the coolest things that we do is when we all kind of team up and tackle a problem together.
That is incredible. Yes, all those brilliant minds together in one room to figure it out. I love it. It's great. It's awesome. So my next question is, what's one thing that people can do to stay healthy?
So this one just sort of came to me. I think it's so easy conceptually, and I would say just get up earlier. I would say wake up an hour or 2 hours earlier than you normally wake up. And that will give you a window to get a lot of things in your life maybe out of the way and free up more time to focus on yourself. Because if you get up late, then the world just kind of hits you in the face. And I've lived this. So I think that getting up earlier is going to be a good move for everybody.
I agree 100%. Try to be an early bird. But I mean,
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
No. So I understand. The next question is, give us one story about one of your favorite patients.
So I don't think I have a single story, but one thing that I love to hear and that I've been hearing, I've been with MSPB for about 15 years and I'm from New York. I trained in New York City and everybody has a cardiologist in New York that's from New York and that's their cardiologist and let me run everything by them and they're the boss and blah, 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 blah. But more often than not, it seems with my patients, they quickly kind of flip it so that I become their primary cardiologist down here, and then their cardiologist in New York is the secondary one. So that's not it's just, to me, it's cool because I think people come from New York and their cardiologist is in the city, and that's something that they kind of wear as a badge. Sometimes it seems, and then you kind of win them over with your, with the how good you are at what you do and how well you communicate with them, and that's always a nice feeling when I hear that on that like third or fourth office visit. Oh, by the way, my wife and I have decided to transfer primary cardiology care to you and your team, and so that's my favorite story to hear. That to me is like is great.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Incredible. You have to impress people. It's really really something. I agree. But you're very, you have the expertise. You have all the years of experience. So that's wonderful to hear. So that's our last question with you today. Thank you for being with us, Dr.
Thank
Gottsegen.
you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yep.
So thank you for watching us today. Please follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and on our Facebook page, mspbhealth.com. See you soon.